Here is every single Frasier to Cheers callback smuggled into 11 seasons of Seattle's most famous psychiatrist. Are you as turned on as I am? Let's start in season 10 when Frasier and Julia Wilcox are mid-argument at KACL, hurling insults. And then, in the middle of the fight, Frasier grabs her and asks, deadly serious,
"Are you as turned on as I am?"
What? No!
If you only ever watched Frasier, that line is funny. If you watched Cheers, it's a great callback.
You disgust me. I hate you.
Are you as turned on as I am?
More.
That exact question was the punchline of Sam and Diane's first kiss in the March 1983 season 1 finale of Cheers. Sam corners Diane in his office. They scream at each other. He calls her a phony fruitcake. She tells him he disgusts her. And then he asks her the line.
"You are the nuttiest, the stupidest, the phoniest fruitcake I ever met."
You, Sam Malone, are the most arrogant, self-centered son.
Stop!
20 years later, Frasier quotes it word for word. The writers even let Bulldog reference the callback, telling Frasier,
"People stopped saying turned on 20 years ago."
By 2003, it had been 20 years since that famous Cheers scene.
Then what do I know? I'm just a magic 8-ball with a Harvard and Oxford degree.
The suicide ledge.
Go. This is stupid. 1 second, that's our personal best?
This one is from the second episode of the entire series. Frasier and Martin are sitting at the dinner table trying to have an honest, friendly conversation with a kitchen timer running.
There was a time of depression I went through that was so terrible, I actually climbed out on a ledge and wondered if life was worth living.
In an attempt to share something real, Frasier tells his father about a dark moment 6 months earlier. He and Lilith were on the rocks, and he'd climbed onto a ledge 3 stories up and wondered if life was worth living.
And you didn't jump, huh?
For brand new viewers in 1993, this is a piece of character backstory. For Cheers fans, this is the writers reaching back to November 1992.
I'm gonna jump!
Lie to him. Tell him you go back with him. Tell him to go inside.
The Cheers episode, The Girl in the Plastic Bubble, had Frasier above Melville's because Lilith was leaving him for Dr. Pascal in his underground ecopod.
Yes, Frasier, I'm off to live in the ecopod.
No.
The Frasier writers don't recap the ecopod story, but this moment carries a decade of baggage with it.
Frasier, you're making a big fool of yourself.
Don't leave me, Lilith!
It's too late, Frasier. I've made up my mind.
And the gentle line about Frederick that follows, about how thinking of his son brought him back from the brink, is the emotional core.
Then I thought of Frederick.
And you didn't jump, huh?
The first proper Cheers to Frasier handoff.
Oh, you are so infuriating! Well, you're no dad at the beach either. You know what you are? I'll tell you later. It's time for my program.
Maris equals Vera.
I do. I like her from a distance. You know, the way you like the sun. Maris is like the sun, except without the warmth.
For all 11 seasons, Maris Crane was talked about and never seen. The writers admitted years later that she wasn't meant to stay invisible forever. The plan was to pretend they were borrowing the unseen wife joke from Cheers, and then surprise everybody by actually casting her after a few episodes.
Listen, Cliffy, Vera would have been here, so I didn't tell her about it.
Yes, Vera is Norm's much-storied wife.
In the original Cheers joke, the unseen wife was Vera Peterson, Norm's wife. Often mentioned, never seen. The closest the audience ever got to seeing her was when she walked in, just in time to take a pie directly to the face.
Sam, think fast!
The plan for Maris was a fake-out homage. They were going to seem like they were stealing the Vera joke and then reveal her.
Just bear in mind she can't have shellfish, poultry, red meat, saturated fats, nitrates, wheat, starch, sulfites, MSG, or dairy.
Except very early on, The writers had described Maris in such bizarre terms that no human actress could plausibly play her anymore.
Did I say nuts?
Oh, I think that's implied.
So they doubled down.
We had a set to on the slopes. She ran. I tried to follow her tracks in the snow, but alas, she made none.
And then kept doubling down, again and again.
I don't have to ask her. She's out of the country. She's in Antwerp having her elbows done.
And the closest we ever got to seeing Maris was a shadow behind a shower curtain in Season 5's Voyage of the Damned, itself a mirror of Vera's pie-in-the-face appearance.
Oh, I couldn't see past the outfit. Who wears a black dress and a veil on a cruise?
Ross, the woman has virtually no pigmentation. 3 minutes in the sun, she'd sear like an ahi tuna.
Lilith is the good one. Season 9, Episode 16. Lilith's con man half-brother Blaine, played gloriously by Michael Keaton, turns up in Seattle in a wheelchair.
All right, Blake.
Frasier, my brother. It's been too long.
Frasier, who has been on the receiving end of Lilith's family weirdness for 2 decades, has had enough.
As a matter of fact, I've started a ministry to save souls the way the Lord saved mine.
What genius! The Lord! A credible partner who doesn't take a cut.
By Season 9, the audience has been collecting Lilith family lore for 15 years.
Sternin. Is he related to Lilith?
Yes, he's Lilith's half-brother. The curse of the family. What does it say when Lilith is the good one?
There's Lilith's mother Betty, who insisted on a redo wedding because she missed the first one.
Thanks for helping me with my bags, Frasier, but I see you've got that big heavy drink to lug around.
Then we have Lilith's barely glimpsed father, mentioned in Cheers Season 6.
Oh, Frasier, love, I'm really not a proponent of surprises. My father once asked me to close my eyes, and he left for 2 years.
The whole Sternin clan being a sustained running gag stretching across 2 shows. So when Frasier asks what it says about a family that Lilith Sternin is the warm, well-adjusted one, that's 15 years of patient groundwork paying off.
Of course, he sounded charming. Charm is the viscous grease with which he oils his flim-flam machine.
The Bizarro Bar, Force of Habit. Season 3, Episode 14. The show where Diane comes back. Diane walks back into Frasier's life and invites Frasier to check out a rehearsal of her new play.
Well, the stage is set. My players are prepared. So, without further ado, I give you Rhapsody and Requiem.
The curtain rises, and what's behind it is the most perfectly chaotic Cheers callback ever staged. A replica of the Cheers bar, populated by stand-ins for every regular.
That the expression absence makes the heart grow fonder is in actuality rooted in scientific bedrock.
Yeah, so's your head.
Stan is Sam, Darla is Carla, Clark is Cliff, and Ned is Norm. Ned even enters with his own version of "Evenin' everybody," which Diane has rewritten as a pickup line.
What's a nice beer like you doing in a face like this?
It's the show looking at its own past. At the very end of the episode, the writers slip in a tiny visual joke for the fans.
Force of habit.
Frasier tries to walk out what would have been the door out of Cheers.
I've been doing it all week.
The Charade's phone call.
Well, blow me down! No, just say KACL's Talk of the Town. Talk of Seattle. Whatever, bye-bye.
In Season 2, Ted Danson crosses the country and walks into KACL.
What are you doing in town?
Rasha, I'm here interviewing for a job.
Later, back at Frasier's apartment, Sam's fiancée Sheila rings, and Sam, panicking, asks Frasier to fend her off. What follows is 2 grown men miming wildly through a series of charades while Sheila tries to get a word in.
Sheila. Yes, well, he's not here right now, but I'm expecting him soon. No.
Now that scene is a near shot-for-shot remake of the first time Sam and Diane shared a scene, in the Cheers pilot in 1982. A woman named Vicky phones the bar looking for Sam, and Diane, barely 2 scenes into the entire series, helps him fend her off through charades.
I think what happened is he had to go to mime class.
13 years apart, 2 different women, two different shows, same gag.
My darling, I'm leaving you alone in a bar. Which one of us is the stupider, Sam?
Too close to call.
He told me you were dead. Same Frasier episode. And this one is the big one. The foundational continuity hole the spinoff was always going to have to deal with eventually. Because back on Cheers, Frasier had told everyone that his father was dead.
Here we are, Sam. Whoa, wow, look at this. Man, you got quite a babe magnet here. Oh,
So when Sam walks into Frasier's apartment and meets Martin, alive, in a recliner, the look on his face says everything.
What did he tell you about me, Sam? The father, the old cop.
he told me you were dead.
The research scientist part refers back to this scene from season 8 of Cheers.
Dad was a scientist, huh? No, he was a white rat. Of course he was a scientist, you nit.
The writers don't try to paper over the continuity chasm. Frasier just gives a bit of a shrug and says that he and Martin had an argument, and that since Martin was dead anyway, it didn't really matter what he did for a living.
You're a cop? You told me he was a research scientist.
You were dead. What did it matter?
It's the cleanest piece of continuity housekeeping in the whole spin-off. The writers don't fix the contradiction. They just hang a lampshade on it and move on.
I didn't know he had a brother.
And in the same scene, Niles, who, let us not forget, did not exist during Cheers, gets to wear the continuity lampshade too.
I don't mind telling you I'm a little offended that in all the time you spent swapping bon mot with a beer nut set, you never once mentioned you had a brother.
Sam does the work here, tying up a loose end and roasting Frasier in one fluid motion.
It's just that when Frasier gets going, you kind of have to tune him out.
A good slogan for his radio show. Dr. Frasier Crane, when he gets going, you have to tune him out.
He looks just like you did when I met you. That brings us neatly to the next. Sam looks at Niles, sees a slimmer, younger, more buttoned-up version of Frasier, and says it out loud.
He looks just like you did when I met you. What happened, huh?
In show, it's a reference to how Frasier looked when he first walked into the bar in 1984. Lean, beardless, all bow ties and intellectual swagger.
Oh, Sam, this is my brother, Dr. Niles Crane.
Pleasure to meet you.
Oh, yeah, you too. Wow.
Out of show, it's a meta joke about the fact that David Hyde Pierce was literally cast because he resembled a young Kelsey Grammer. Later, Sam offers Niles some bedroom advice, which is its own beautiful clash of two different sitcom universes.
Exactly where am I supposed to find whipped cream and a car battery at this hour?
The runaway groom. Sam isn't just visiting Frasier for old time's sake. He's running away from his own wedding. And when he tells Frasier why, the writers slip in one of the most elegant callbacks in the entire series.
Will you take this woman to be your wife? And I said, who, me?
On Cheers, Frasier described, in agonizing detail, how Diane Chambers had said the exact same thing when she abandoned him at an altar in Italy.
Well, she left me at the altar. I had just vowed to take her for my wife. The priest asked her if she would marry me. She looked around and asked if he was talking to her.
It's a very deliberate symmetry. Sam, the womanizer who never settled, does the same thing Diane did. And the friend he comes to confess it to is the one man on earth who knows exactly what those two syllables sound like.
Future Mrs. Sam Malone. Well, Sheila, this is Frasier.
Hello, Frasier. It's nice to finally meet you.
Sheila, likewise.
But there is one last sting in the tail, to make the parallel between the two leading men all the clearer.
Oh my God, I slept with that woman 3 months ago.
Norm Peterson, you old horse thief. In season 4, Frasier has done what he calls a personal best. 3 dates with different women on consecutive nights. And like any insecure man, he immediately needs to tell someone.
I'm a babe magnet. I'm catnip.
I think I feel a fur ball coming up.
Roz tells him that he shouldn't care so much what people from his past think of him. Frasier agrees, then immediately picks up the phone, dials Boston, and brags.
Hello?
Why, Norm Peterson, you old horse thief. Thanks for calling back so soon. Yeah, well, just guess who's got 3 dates this week here.
There's no Norm on screen or on the line you can hear. George Wendt isn't anywhere near this episode. But the audience hears that name and they hear, in their head, a room full of people shouting, "Norm!" right back. The writers don't explain who Norm is or reintroduce him.
Afternoon, everybody.
Tommy.
They just let the name do the work. Names on my list are all back in Boston. A quieter callback than most, and maybe the saddest, Niles offers Frasier 2 tickets to the racetrack on Saturday.
Oh, Frasier, I had a breakthrough today with one of my compulsive gamblers, and he gave me 2 tickets to the racetrack on Saturday. It's a luxury box. I thought you might want to go.
Niles doesn't want to go himself. Martin's got poker. So Frasier picks up the phone to call a friend.
Oh, well then, I'll just call one of my friends.
He gets to the phone, and then he stops.
3 names on my list, they're all back in Boston.
What about someone from your wine club?
Oh, well, truth be told, Daphne, those people are insufferable boys unless they have a glass in their hands.
There it is. He's been in Seattle for 2 years, and the only people he can think to call are Norm, Cliff, and Sam, 3,000 miles away.
What exactly is your point, Dad? I've lost my knack for making friends?
Well, I hate to bring it up, but you never were very good at it.
The whole episode is built around that admission.
So why is it we have so much trouble making friends? Is it because we've become closed off? No longer want to reach out to our fellow man?
The writers are reminding us that Frasier didn't just leave a city behind, he left a family. And you can't just replace 12 years at the Cheers by subbing in Cafe Nervosa.
5, 4, 3.
What are you doing, Carla?
Counting down, I'm about to launch my lunch.
She is the devil. Don't worry, we're not done with Diane. Halfway through the dress rehearsal, the actor playing Bizarro Frasier delivers a line, and something inside Frasier finally snaps.
I did leave you at the altar.
No, you know I hold no ill will toward you for that.
He gets up. He storms onto the stage.
This whole getting left at the altar thing, I just don't know what I'm supposed to be feeling.
I may be able to illuminate that for you.
And he unleashes the longest, loudest, most theatrically Frasier-ish callback line in the entire history of the spin-off.
What you are feeling is that this woman has reached into your chest, plucked out your heart, and thrown it to her hellhounds for a chew toy.
And just to really sell it, he calls her the devil.
So drink hearty, Franklin, and laugh, because you have made a pact with Beelzebub, and her name is Marianne!
It is an entire decade of repressed Cheers-era trauma pouring out of Frasier.
Is there any lingering resentment?
Over what?
And the genius of it is that, off-stage, Grammer and Long had been famously frosty for years. Long once tried to get Frasier written off Cheers. The writing of this episode was a reconciliation, and knowing about all that off-screen drama makes Frasier and Diane's final moment all the more powerful.
Goodbye, Diane.
Goodbye, Frasier.
And speaking of Cheers-era trauma, Hester tried to kill me once. She had a gun. Frasier, alone in a remote cabin at the beginning of season 9, is in full breakdown mode.
I just had a thought. Maybe it isn't Frasier's fault.
Oh, denial. How nice to see you.
And his subconscious has helpfully summoned every important woman in his life to argue with him about why he's so bad at relationships.
Do you remember that song?
Apparently I do.
He composed it in college. It's how we met.
Lilith is there, Diane, his first wife Nanny G, and eventually his late mother Hester is there too, played here by Rita Wilson. Then Diane leans over to Nanny G and casually mentions that Frasier's mother once tried to kill her.
Don't feel bad. She tried to kill me once.
Oh, not this paranoia again.
You had a gun?
That goes all the way back to Cheers Season 3, 1984, an episode called Diane Meets Mom.
Oh. Will you trust me to make the selection? I have a very special little treat in mind that I've just discovered, and I'd like to surprise you with it.
Oh.
The original Hester Crane was played by Sopranos legend Nancy Marchand, and she was a very different woman. Cold, manipulative, and willing to threaten Diane's life over dinner.
Now listen to me. I have a gun. I know how to use it.
Here we are.
Oh, doesn't that look lovely?
17 years later, the Frasier writers revisit that dinner table threat to land the long-range callback.
Oh, that's none of your beeswax, Missy.
Oh, betrayal by the mother. Is there any deeper wound?
I'd say sleeping with his brother is right up there.
The reunion tour. Every major character from Cheers, with the exception of one, eventually came to Seattle.
Oh, really? Hello, you're on the line.
Congratulations, Frasier. You've done it again.
Lilith, of course, was first in season 1. She has flown across the country because she found a letter Frasier wrote in Boston about reconciling. But he wrote it a year ago, and they have both moved on. The two psychiatrists end up in his apartment, talking honestly for what feels like the first time.
My darling, how could a love like ours have fallen so far from grace?
Sam and Diane we've already covered, and Woody's got his own section coming up next. And then in season 9, in Cheerful Goodbyes, Frasier finally goes to them. He travels to Boston for a conference, runs into Cliff at the airport, and ends up at Cliff's retirement party with the whole gang. Carla is there.
Cliff Cleveland! Frasier! You old dog! How you doing?
Norm is there. Phil and Paul are there. Even Walt Twitchell from the post office. Martin and Norm bond instantly, recognizing each other's preferred method of beer consumption from a single handshake.
Oh, that's some mug callus you got there.
Judging from your grip, I'd say you're a can man.
Guilty as charged.
Daphne falls for Cliff's nonsense trivia. And Carla unloads about 1 million stories about what an absolute boob Frasier was when he first walked into the bar.
That must have been completely humiliating for Frasier.
Yeah, well, that's the point.
Well, do you have any more of these stories?
Only about 1 million.
By the time the credits roll on that episode, with the exception of Rebecca and Coach, every regular from Cheers has now appeared on Frasier in some capacity.
Well, look, when Frasier first started coming to Cheers, he was really kind of a boob. Yeah, boob.
Cheers. Cheers. Season 6, Episode 13. The show where Woody shows up. Perhaps the most devastating callback in the entire series.
Woody! Woody!
Woody Boyd calls into Frasier's show to announce he's landed in Seattle and wants to catch up.
Dr. Crane, it's Woody. I'm in Seattle and I'm a little lost.
Well, Woody, in today's fast-paced, high-pressure society, that's not uncommon.
Frasier is delighted. They go out, they reminisce, they drink. And then they realize, painfully and slowly, that they have nothing in common anymore.
I wouldn't trade my years at Cheers for anything, but I am very happy with my life the way it is today.
Frasier has the moment of clarity that lands the episode. He realizes Woody has done something he himself has never quite managed.
How lucky you are. You see, you've found where you belong and you've made your home there.
And then they raise their glasses. The last words two old friends from Boston ever say to each other are very fitting.
Absolutely. 10 years it is. Cheers. Cheers.
Frasier's Snipe Hunt. Back to Cheerful Goodbyes, which has even more callbacks to unpack. Niles, bored, hungry, watching a Postal Service retirement party unfold around him, finds himself sitting next to Carla.
Instead, we're eating trail mix and drinking this... Oh, dear God, it's just labeled wine.
And Carla, sensing an easy mark, leans in and tests him.
Hey, Norm. Doesn't he remind you of Frasier? Say indubitably.
Must I?
It's uncanny.
Then she asks Norm if he remembers the time the Cheers gang took Frasier on a snipe hunt.
What's a snipe hunt?
That's when you take some unsuspecting dope out to bag snipe, which don't exist, and then you ditch them in the woods.
This is a callback to a Cheers Season 3 episode called The Heart is a Lonely Snipe Hunter, in which the victim of the prank is, you guessed it, Frasier.
Giggle out of this, Diane. Frasier is still up in the woods. He's snipe hunting.
You sent him on a snipe hunt. I love it.
The Einstein of Cheers speech. This one's from the same episode. Cliff has been quietly told he's about to be unceremoniously dumped by his colleagues, who can't wait for him to retire. So Frasier, full of warmth and Pinot Grigio, decides to give an impromptu speech in his honor.
I still remember Sam throwing me a lavish party and...
To make Cliff feel better, he tells the room about the lavish goodbye party the gang threw him a decade earlier,
dubbing me the Einstein of Cheers.
Somehow, the clarification makes it even more pretentious.
Against my modest protest that I was merely the Niels Bohr.
You still are.
The tribute to Cliff starts to sound suspiciously like a tribute to Frasier, by Frasier.
And then, of course, Norm begging me to stay, and that comical moment when Woody threw his arms around my legs and began to cry.
But he eventually gets back on topic.
Now another of us is leaving this wonderful town. Good luck, Cliff.
And after Frasier sits down, Norm seals it, lamenting that Frasier's stolen his thunder.
Great. I was gonna say good luck, Cliff.
Faces you saw before you were supposed to. 3 Frasier regulars had already appeared in the Cheers universe before the spin-off ever started.
What's the matter, babe? You can't work with a man you're attracted to? Oh, God. I'll be home all night.
The most surreal, John Mahoney. A year before he was cast as Martin, he guest starred on Cheers as Cy Flembeck, an over-the-hill jingle writer Rebecca hired to compose an advert for the bar.
Tune-ups, that's our game. F-R-E-D-S. If you don't come here, that's a shame. F-R-E-D-S.
He shared scenes, he shared dialogue with Frasier.
Excuse me, isn't that just old MacDonald's farm? When old MacDonald pays me $200, it'll be old MacDonald's farm.
The second face, Perry Gilpin. 5 months before the Frasier pilot, she popped up in Cheers Season 11 as a reporter named Holly Matheson, interviewing Woody during his absurd run for city council.
Let's start with our police force. Morale is at an all-time low. Officers are underpaid and overworked. What do you plan to do?
And then, the best of all, a longtime stand-in and background actor named Joan Carey. She never had a credited role or spoke a line.
Dr. Crane, my wife Tracy and I are having a baby, and I know we're getting a little ahead of ourselves, but there seems to be a lot of different advice about whether it's okay.
But she was in the background of Cheers, and then in the background of Frasier, and over 34 episodes and 20 years, she silently watched Frasier Crane's life unfold.
Yesterday, some guy sat right here next to me for 11 hours.
The rewrites. There are 2 characters from Frasier's past who got recast and softened by the spin-off. The first is Hester.
Now listen to me. I have a gun. I know how to use it.
We've already covered her as a punchline, but the spin-off went further, completely rewriting her character. Frasier's murderous, manipulative mother is recast as a saintly, soft-focus intellectual. One possible explanation for this retcon is that Frasier's rose-tinted memory is playing tricks on him, as Lilith suggests in Season 9.
Ladies, meet the competition. This is the woman against whom we have all been measured.
The second big recast is Nanette, better known as the children's entertainer Nanny G. She was played by Emma Thompson on Cheers.
Your tummy, life is kind of yummy. When you're feeling crummy, just look up and laugh a lot.
She was then recast as Dina Spivey Waters in Frasier, Season 9, then recast again as Laurie Metcalf in Season 11's Caught in the Act.
And it's time to rise. I yawn and rub my eyes because I'm such a sleepy head.
3 actresses, 1 ex-wife. Proving that the Frasier writers were perfectly happy to be flexible with Cheers-era facts, as long as the joke kept landing.
Lilith, will you please be quiet? Mother is speaking.
Title mirroring. Sometimes the callback isn't in the episode, it's in the episode title. Cheers had an episode called Dinner at 8-ish. Frasier gave us Dinner at 8. Cheers had And Coachy Makes 3. Frasier answered with And Frasier Makes 3. Cheers had Don Juan is Hell. Frasier gave us a 2-parter, Don Juan in Hell. And then there's the deepest cut. Cheers gave us a theme song called where everybody knows your name. Frasier, in Season 5's Mixed Doubles, played with the line by giving the episode a tagline, where everybody knows her name. The writers were having fun and had not forgotten where they'd all come from. The theme song counterpoint. And finally, the one that's playing at the start of one and the end of the other. Cheers opened every week with a song about a place where everybody knows your name. A place to go when you're lonely, when life has knocked you around.
Hey baby, I hear the blues are calling, tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Mercy.
Frasier closed every week with a song about tossed salads and scrambled eggs. Kelsey Grammer's own voice, singing about the mixed-up people who call into the radio show. Lost souls, looking for somewhere to land. 2 theme songs about the same thing. 2 shows about lonely, complicated people trying to find their place. Sam Malone closed Cheers in 1993 by quietly turning down a customer at the door.
Sorry, we're closed.
11 years later, Frasier Crane closed Frasier by reciting Tennyson's Ulysses on the air at KACL.
Made weak by time and fate, but strong in will. To strive, to seek, to find, and not to yield.
Before delivering a poignant variation on the sign-off that had closed every show for over a decade.
For 11 years, you've heard me say, I'm listening. Well, you were listening too. And for that, I am eternally grateful.
A bar where everybody knew your name. A radio show where somebody was always listening. The greatest callback the writers ever wrote was the show itself.
While it's tempting to play it safe, the more we're willing to risk, the more alive we are.
Which of these did you spot the first time around? Drop us a comment. And if you'd watch a deep dive on every Cheers character who ever crossed over to Frasier, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss it. As always,
I'm listening.